What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be running through my round 24 round 24 AFL tips. I can't believe it is the last round of the home and away season, the last round before we get into finals. That is crazy to think about, but yeah, we're going to be running through my round 24 AFL tips as well as having a look at how I did back in round 23. So let's do that first off. Alright, this is how I did back in round 23. I got a total of 6 out of 9 tips. I got my Pies tip incorrect. I got the Tigers tip correct. I got the Blues tip correct. I got the Giants tip correct. I got the Saints tip correct. I got the Crows tip incorrect. I got the Dogs tip incorrect. I got the D's tip correct. And I got the Power tip correct. Having a look at where that puts me in my own tipping comp, that puts me in 19th spot on a total of 128 points. So yeah, I'm in 19th spot out of a total of 39 participants in my own tipping comp. As we scroll up the ladder to take a look at who's in first spot, we've got Shannon Humphreys who got a total of 6 out of 9 tips last round and is on a total of 142 points. So fair play to Shannon. Will Shannon stay on top of the ladder after round 24? Only time will tell. But without further ado, let's take a look and see what my round 24 tips are. Alright, we're kicking off round 24 with the Friday night blockbuster between two arch rivals, being the Bombers and my Pies at the mighty MCG. Hopefully it turns out to be an entertaining clash. Last round the Bombers got defeated by the Giants by a total margin of 126 points, while my Pies got done by the Lions by a margin of 24 points. But yeah, hopefully it is an entertaining game. It is normally an entertaining game between the Bombers and my Pies. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this game turns out, considering the amount of outs the Bombers have in this game and the amount of, sort of big outs that they have in this game. But nonetheless, I will be backing in my Pies to get the job done in this game. Yeah, hopefully we can get the job done in this game. I do have faith that we will get the job done in this game, get a win, get the confidence up before heading into finals. So yeah, I really feel like we want to get, things ticking in a good way before we go into finals, and I think we're gonna get things ticking in a good way in this game before we head into finals. So yeah, I'm backing in my Pies to get the job done in this game over the Bombers, get the confidence up before we go into our first final in a few weeks. So yeah, I'm backing in my Pies over the Bombers in this game. Come on, Pies. Next up, we've got the Hawks taking on the Dockers at the MCG. The Hawks got defeated by Melbourne by a margin of 27 points last round, while the Dockers got defeated by the Power by 16 points last round. I do think this is going to be a very interesting game to watch, considering, the Hawks, they've had a few good games the last few rounds. They got done by Melbourne by a margin of 27 points, but they were still, decently in that game for the majority of that game against the D's before, that last quarter where the D's sort of extended the margin and got the win. But yeah, the Hawks, they've had an impressive few last games, but to be fair, so have the Dockers. They've been thereabouts the last few games. I mean, they were thereabouts against the Power last round. They were really determined in that game, but couldn't get the job done. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game to watch. But I am going to be backing in Hawthorn to get the job done in this game, end the season on a high. This is a very tough game to tip. Nonetheless, I do think, either team could get the job done, and I do think whoever wins this game is going to win it by a close margin. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in Hawthorn to get the job done over the Dockers in this game. Next up, we've got North Melbourne taking on the Swans in Hobart on Saturday. The Swans are coming off that devastating loss against the Blues last round, while North Melbourne coming off that loss against the Tigers last round. I do think this could be a fairly interesting game. Obviously North Melbourne will want to finish their season on a good note, whereas the Swans will want to, play a very good game of footy because obviously their new coach Stemmer will be watching with good intent, and we'll want to see how they go. So it's going to be interesting on those fronts. But I am going to be backing the Swans to get the job done in this game against North Melbourne. I do think the Swans have been playing a little bit of the better footy than North Melbourne have this season, but I do think North Melbourne will. I can see this being an interesting and entertaining game to watch. I do think North Melbourne are really going to take it up to the Swans in this game, and like I said before, try to finish the season on a good note. But I do think the Swans will get the job done in this game, so I'm backing in Gold Coast over North Melbourne in this one. Next up, we've got the Lions taking on the Saints at the Gabba. Both of these teams have a last 5 game record of 4 wins and 1 loss, which is crazy to see. The Lions coming off that 24-point win against My Pies, while the Saints are coming off a 33-point win against the Cats last round. So it should be a very competitive game, this one. It will be interesting to see how the Saints go in this game again against a really good contender this year in the Lions, especially at the Gabba as well. I do think it's going to be a little bit hard for the Saints in this game without Max King. I feel like Max King makes a massive difference to their sort of game plan and their structure and the way they go about it, the Saints. And I think that's pretty obvious to say. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they go without Max King in this game. But I'm going to be backing in the Lions to get the job done in this game. It is at the Gabba. The Lions have made the Gabba a fortress this season. I don't think they've lost a game at the Gabba this season yet, so who knows? The Saints could get the job done. They're going to have to do it without Max King, like I said before, but I can't see the Saints getting the job done in this game at the Gabba against the Lions. So I'm going to be tipping the Lions over the Saints in this one. Next up, we've got the Cats taking on the Dogs at the Cattery. The Cats are coming off that 33-point loss against the Saints, while the Dogs are coming off that very interesting loss against the Eagles. Jesus, it's just so odd, isn't it? They've lost against the Hawks and the Eagles now. Their past 2 games, the Dogs. I mean, we did lose against the Hawks as well. But I don't know. It's very interesting to see how the Dogs have been going the last few games. But the Cats, you can't really mount a case for them either. They've only won 1 out of their last 5 games. So, both teams are coming into this game, off the back of some fairly average form, I would say. I mean, they've been competitive in some games, but still, their form isn't the greatest coming in to this game, both sides. So it's going to make for a very interesting game. And the Cats, they've got a lot of outs for this game. Having a look at the team lineups, they've got a lot of outs, the Cats, coming into this game. So in saying that, I am actually going to be tipping the Dogs. I know, weirdly enough, I am going to be backing in the Dogs to get the job done over the Cats in this game, and really just keep that finals that finals torch to I don't know what I'm saying, but just keep the finals hope and the finals dream still alive for the Dogs. I'm going to be tipping the Dogs in sort of an upset in this game, but when you look at the team lineups, is it an upset? I wouldn't say so, but I'm still going to be tipping the Dogs in this game over the Cats. Alright, and next up we've got the Eagles taking on the Crows at Optus Stadium in Perth. The Eagles are coming off that 7-point win against the Dogs, while the Crows are coming off that devastating 1-point loss against the Swans, that controversial 1-point loss against the Swans. Yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Crows in this game to get the job done over the Eagles. I do think it's going to be an oddly competitive game, this one. I do think the Eagles will want to, have a good finish to the season. But yeah, I do think the Crows, they've been playing the better footy than the Eagles this season. In their last few games, their last 5 games, I know they've only won 2 of their last of their past 5 games, but they've been very competitive in their losses. A 1-point loss to the Swans, a 6-point loss to the Lions, and a 4-point loss against the D. So they've been very competitive in their losses this season, to be fair. This season the Crows have. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in Adelaide to get the job done over the Eagles in this one. Moving on to the 3 Sunday games, kicking off at 12:30 p.m, an odd time, but that's when we're kicking off on Sunday in Victoria time anyway. 12:30 p.m, we've got the Power taking on the Tigers at the Adelaide Oval. The Power are coming off that 16-point win against the Dockers, while the Tigers are coming off that sort of big win against North Melbourne last round. I am going to be tipping Port Adelaide to get the job done in this game over the Tigers. The Power, they seem to be getting back to that good form that had them on that good winning run previously this season. So yeah, they seem to be getting back into that good form, and they're at home. It's the last game of the home and away season, so they'll want to go into finals full of confidence. And if they win this one, it'll be 3 wins in a row, so that will really bring the confidence levels up going into finals for the Power. The Tigers, it will just be good to see them be very competitive in this game and hopefully make a real good game out of it. But yeah, hopefully they can make a real good game out of it is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm still going to be tipping Port Adelaide to get the job done over Richmond in this one. Next up, we've got the Swans taking on the D's at the SCG for the Sunday, one of the Sunday twilight games. The Swans are coming off that controversial 1-point win against the Crows, while the D's coming off that 27-point win over the Hawks. What a good game this will be to watch. It's going to be very entertaining. I cannot wait to watch it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but something is pulling me towards the Swans. So yeah, I am going to be tipping the Swans in this game to get the job done over the D's. So, the Swans are on they're on a really good run at the moment. I don't know how many games in a row that they have won, but they've won a few games in a row. They've won their past 5, what I can see here. So yeah, it could be more as well, but from what I can see, the last 5 games they have won their last 5 matches coming into this game. So yeah, the Swans, they're in a pretty good mood at the moment, and it's in front of their home fans at the SCG this game. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Swans over the D's in this game. I do think it's going to be a relatively close game of footy because the D's, they have been playing some very good footy to the back end of the season, and they're in 4th spot as well, Melbourne. So yeah, it's going to be a very good and entertaining game of footy to watch this one. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Swans at the SCG to get the job done over the D's. And lastly, we've got the Blues taking on the Giants at Marvel Stadium for, at 6:10 p.m. on a Sunday. What a odd time to have a footy game, but that's when it is. The Blues are coming off that exhilarating, exhilarating 4-point win over the Suns, while the Giants are coming off a big 126-point win over the Bombers. This should be a very interesting game, this one. The Blues will just want to continue on their winning ways. They've been in spectacular form their last few games, the Blues. I don't know how many games they've won in a row. I think it's like 9 in a row that they've won. So if they win this one, it'll be the big 10-0, 10 games in a row that they have won before heading into finals, which would be absolutely insane. And I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it over the Giants. Yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Blues in this game over the Giants, for the Blues to make it 10 wins in a row. I think it could be 9 wins in a row, but I think it is 10 wins in a row if they do win this game. The Blues, like I said, they've been in some spectacular form the last few games that they've played, and yeah, I think it's going to continue. So yeah, I'm backing in Carlton over the Giants in this game. I do think it's going to be a very competitive game though. The Giants, I think, they'll need to win this one to potentially make finals. If that is the case, you never know, they could get the job done. They tend to really show up when they need to as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game if the Giants have a chance to make finals. So you never know. Either way, I do think it's going to be a very competitive game. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in Carlton to get the job done in this game to continue on their good form that they are, having at the moment. So yeah, it's the Blues for me over the Giants. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my round 24 tips done and dusted. My last tips of the home and away season before we get into finals. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your round 24 tips in the comments below and compare them to mine. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Cheers for watching this video, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Cheers.